Very good afternoon, sir. Thank you for joining with us today for the program called Thoughts on Education by College Dunia. So today we have with us Dr. Rajiv Kumar Gar, Dean Industry and International Affairs for NIT Jalandhar. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here today.
Yeah, good morning. It's really nice to join with you.
Okay, the first question comes to you. You have various positions in your educational institutes throughout your career, such as you are director for NIT Arunachal Pradesh, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Also, you are a Dean International Affairs here. So, what one thing has kept you connected with the education sector over the years?
Really, according to me, in itself, it's great to be a teacher. And according to me, being an academician, basically the youth that has to replace me in future. That is something which always connects me to the education sector. If I just recall, I'm a NIT product only. Earlier, it used to be called as REC system.
Yes.
I did BTech at that time called as 5-year BSc engineering program from REC Kurukshetra at that time.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, NIT Jalandhar was not there, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And after completing 5 years program, joined industry. From industry, teaching was my chosen career. I was working with Birlas and left the industry and joined Thapar Institute as a lecturer.
Okay.
From Thapar, went to Technical Teachers Training Institute, which is now called as NITTR Chandigarh.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last 27 years, I am with, at that time, REC Jalandhar, which was later on changed to NIT Jalandhar by the Act of Parliament in 2002, when the full autonomy was given to all the RECs under the umbrella of NITs.
NIT, yes.
So that's there. Of course, since it's a chosen career with me, according to me, the thing which really keeps on connecting me is the youth.
Okay.
In this particular environment, one thing is unique. Generally, you will see that in a family, parents are happy if their son, daughter, brothers, sisters, they are going to be elevated. Apart from the family connections, it's the teachers, I will say, which is happy in case his students grow up. And according to me, in the times to come, my student, I expect, will replace me. They will be better than me. And this is the thing which keeps me connected to the academic world.
So you always wanted to build a future next to you to be sufficient enough so that the nation can be going forward.
Yeah, thing is, over the years, many changes I can see. As a student, I can recall, now it's 33 years when I completed BTech. So many changes they have occurred over the years. But no doubt, also, I will say that the wisdom, brilliance, intelligence of the students, according to my personal perception, that has gone up. More competitions are there, and the students, according to me, are now more focused in one way or the other. In some way, it's good. In some way, some other things that have also changed, which generally academicians, they always say that when we were students, probably the things were not like that, and so on.
The infrastructure was not up to the mark that it is today, right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so sir, when you first came to the NIT Jalandhar, or earlier it was said as REC Jalandhar, what was your vision for the institute, and has it evolved over the time, and how far successful you are in implementing your vision for the institute?
Yeah, actually, I will say now I can say it's a step-by-step long journey, I can say. When I came to Jalandhar, that was my first visit, to be very frank.
Okay.
The interviews were held in Chandigarh. I was there in Chandigarh. I had never come to Jalandhar earlier. So I landed at this land on the day of my joining itself.
Okay.
So coming to this place far away from Jalandhar, proper Jalandhar, I should say, maybe the bus stand. I came by bus at that time.
Okay.
Nobody was knowing the place. Nobody was aware of that some REC is there. since it was new REC.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So it took me about 2 hours to know where I have to go.
Okay.
After reaching here, including me, around 30 faculty members only, going to cater to 8 engineering disciplines, very less infrastructure, almost negligible laboratories. So everything was a challenge on the very first day. I remained senior most from my joining in my department. Now I am senior most after the director in my institute.
Okay.
So in that case, since the joining, the challenge was there. Means you are answerable to all the stakeholders on the very first day.
From the first day itself.
From the first day itself, what to do? That was a big challenge for me. And you will be surprised, although it's a organization established by Ministry of Education, earlier used to be called as Ministry of HRD.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So in that case, it was a joint venture by state government and central government. And according to the situations at that time, the funds used to be very, very scarce.
Especially being a new REC.
Yeah, it was a new REC, funds were scarce. What to do? Because according to me, laboratory was the biggest challenge in the very beginning. So started with, I should say, writing projects to funding agencies, came with small monies like 5 lakh, 6 lakh, something. Came up with starting of laboratories. And the second thing was upgradation of faculty.
Mhm.
Those days, BTech qualification, if you are having, you could be lecturer. Means lecturer with BTech qualification teaching BTech guys.
Okay.
How to go for it? Because we were reporting to, at that time, Guru Nanak Dev University. We were affiliated to that.
Okay.
So everything was centrally controlled by the university. With those big universities, quite inflexible.
Mhm.
Quite inflexible. For them, examination means examination, could be a degree college, could be a REC or others. So in those cases, according to me, faculty that was with me in my department particularly, all were BTech. All BTech. It took me about 7 years. In 7 years, when we first started MTech program, I was the first one in the institute.
Okay.
And all the teachers, by choice or without choice, they enrolled. Qualification enhancement started. In 2006, once again, I was at that time Dean Research, and we started with PhD programs in, at that time, NIT system, NIT Jalandhar. And of course, I was taking the class in which 43 faculty members were the students.
Okay.
According to me, the aim, the vision which I created, although kept on changing from REC to NIT, and according to me, even after every 3, 4, 5 years, I always have a look back. Where I am, what can be done, should I change my ultimate goal? So in that case, I will not say that I am still running with the old vision.
Yeah. Every 2 3 years, it needs to be upgraded.
Yeah. According to me, I want, no doubt, being the engineering institute, the fully competent engineers. And before that, I want the civilized persons.
The personality development of the student.
Personality development for the society. And according to me, I always say the students, you are the brand ambassador for this institute. Wherever you will go, you need not say, it should be visible from your personality that you are from NIT system, you are a graduate of NIT Jalandhar. According to me, whatever vision I created in 1994, I achieved them when it became NIT, because the biggest thing which we got out of the system was fully academic autonomy. Whatever things we want today, it's not inflexible system,
Mhm.
quite flexible system,
Yes, sir.
in which any new course I want to add, a procedure is there, it's quite simple to add the course. If a subject needs to be changed Once again, very simple. In case I want involvement of industry in teaching, once again, very simple. In case I want to include any external expert for a particular course or a few lectures for a course, very simple. And
I'm also a graduate of NIT Warangal, sir.
okay,
I'm pass out of 2021 batch. Also, I know in the recent whenever the COVID-19 situation started, every day new reforms had to be started. And being a autonomous university, you have your powers that you can change anything according to the board of governors director. So
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't need seniors approval, which usually takes a long delays,
yeah,
and the students hit the thing is students get affected by the things in the long run because of such things. So it is great to hear that. Sir, what is your philosophy of leadership, being the director as well as the dean of various, like you said, you were the dean, director research, now you're dean international affairs. What your philosophy of leadership has been, and how do you like to implement it?
According to me, actually, leadership is not a philosophy, to be very frank. If a leader becomes a philosopher, then there will not be any follower.
Okay.
Leader will happen if you are having a working group with you. I don't say follower, rather a working group. In a working group, if you want to be a leader, you have to demonstrate your capabilities. In case you are solely dependent upon your team, it will be difficult for you to lead them.
Sure.
But according to me, leadership means more responsibility. Leadership means always taking all the failures on your back
and giving the success to the team.
Yeah, giving the success to the team.
As every successful leader ever has done that, I feel your philosophy of the leadership is also the same. And coming to the next question, sir, how does the curriculum of NIT Jalandhar ensure the best practice in the industry in India as well as abroad?
Actually, you know very well, since you are also from NIT system, NIT Jalandhar, like other old NITs, started with curriculum revision as per industry requirement. I work in Department of Industrial and Production Engineering. At this institute, Department of Mechanical Engineering is separate.
Right.
So being the department which has to work in close association with industry, it's very, very important for us to teach those concepts to our students which are required by the industry as on date. And for the last 20 to 25 years, when software came, IT came, and market was booming, in that case, it was very, very important to add the content so that the students could be of use to this industry also. Because if the students say that I don't know computers, I don't know software, I don't know anything related to information technology, probably you are not needed.
Yes.
Please go on waiting for a mechanical industry who will be needing you, and placement maybe 1/10 of the batch. Student will not be satisfied. In that case, no doubt, there are so many initiatives that could be taken. One is, as soon as our batch is over, means after every 4 years, curriculum revision is to be made. This practice we started after NIT system, because in REC, again, it was inflexible system. Any subject change was to be done by the university. That was a more tedious system. But after becoming NITs, we came up with a concept of 4 years revision time. Yeah, and whenever revision is there, it's not confined to academicians only. We always involve industry. Not only local industry, but also public sectors. And our alumni, those who are higher ups in different companies across India or even outside India. And also as an experiment, we have started across the institute value addition with the graduates. Value addition means not only academics and sports or curriculums, co-curricular activities, rather something related to their qualification. I can call them as certifications. I should say 10 years before, me and one of my colleagues, first of all, as to demonstrate the things, we got expertise of lean manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
Through Confederation of Indian Industries, both of us got green belt, then went to Bangalore for black belt. After black belt, we started giving the same expertise to our graduates.
So, sir, do you think the shift from REC to NIT Jalandhar happened at the right time? Because just before that, the IT bubble had started, and then many new things in the software and IT related companies were growing. And at the in the 3-4 years of span, you got powers in your own hands so that you can change the curriculum of your institute. Was it the right time, you think, that this shift happened?
I personally feel that the people like me who worked from REC system, worked in industry, then joined private sector, and then transformed to teaching in REC system, it was too late. This academic autonomy should have been in practice even earlier.
Okay.
But since I am a witness to all this transformation, whenever the things happened according to me, it's okay. From that day, challenge came and planning started from that day. And I am, as on date, I am fully satisfied. Means whatever in personal achievements I could get, it's okay. And whatever I could give to my institution, to my students, that's also as per my planning, as per my objective, as per my vision. Okay.
You spoke about the objectives of yours. So we have a similar question related to that. What do you think are your roles and responsibility you have taken upon yourself to the students as well as to the faculty and the institute in general?
Okay. Basic responsibility has been no doubt a routine teaching. If I would have confined to that, the institution would have been running only with BTech programs.
Mm-hmm.
The objectives was to come up with the elevation of the system, elevation of the institute, so that people know this institution, NIT Jalandhar, in the line with NIT Warangal, in the line with NIT Surathkal, NIT Tiruchirappalli and others. The institutions which were almost 40 years older than this particular institute. So that taking that as a challenge, faculty upgradation, new faculty with higher qualifications to be recruited, laboratories to be equipped with latest facilities, state-of-art facilities, and making the relationship with the industry. That was a challenge. You will be surprised that Jalandhar is an industrially rich town.
Yes, I know. I visited there twice in my life.
But the industries are not very big.
Yeah, the medium size, small to medium.
Of industries, small scale, and a few medium scale. And since the people, they have been working with the country-made Jugaad technologies, for them coming up with alliances, with speaking of joint ventures, coming up with modernizations, automations, mechanizations, that was really difficult. Because for them, okay, you are Professor Garg from NIT, very good, REC, come, take tea, that's all. But investment, some kind of mental set I felt in the very beginning, that nobody was ready to change.
The doubt they had.
No, not the doubt. A mental set is why to invest more. I am happy with the hammer that was installed 50 years before by their grandfathers. With that single hammer, they earned so much, and why to invest more? Why to go for automation? So it took some time. Although starting from 1995, 1 year after my joining, I started going to industry nearby. And in the very beginning, to prove ourselves, we started involving the students for BTech project to this local university.
Same.
That took about 2-3 years with confidence building on both parties.
The relationship building.
Relationship also started. Then in between, through projects, we came up with advanced machineries, which could be used for consultancy work, job work. We started. Being the industrially rich town, we started with die and punch manufacturing in our workshop.
Okay.
I started with a tool room called as Modern Tool Room at the time, under the grant from Ministry of HRD, special grant,
Okay.
to cater to the local industry. And with that, no limits. That thing kept on increasing, and we kept on adding CNC technologies and many more things, wire cut technology.
Growing from the
CNC,
first day.
Yeah, growing from the first day.
Okay, sir, coming to the next question, what are your views on the higher education, of the students, and how does the institute prepare students for the same, be it in India or the abroad?
Yeah, actually, during the last 33 years, when I graduated, according to me, there are many changes, very big changes in higher education. At that time, IITs were only 5, and NITs were around 15. Even NIT Jalandhar was 17th NIT, REC. In 89, it was. The thing is, REC's graduates, they were basically giving every kind of leadership to the Indian industry. Maybe public sectors, maybe government sectors, maybe private sectors, everywhere. Everywhere the people from various RECs, they were available. All of a sudden, privatization started, and mushrooming of engineering institutions started.
The 1992 Act,
Yeah.
the economic reforms of 1992, right?
According to me, that was a very big step by the government. Gave the chances to so many people who couldn't get admission in REC system by a fraction of marks. Due to some reason, somebody not getting the admissions, these private sectors came like anything, accommodated so many people, but no doubt, the quality-wise, slowly and steadily, the big number of these institutions, they didn't keep pace with the challenges.
Challenges.
And slowly and steadily, industry started differentiating with the people from government institute, particularly RECs and private institutes.
Private universities. So, moving forward, sir, what do you think biggest challenges today we are facing for the higher education, and what in the coming years will be facing the challenges for higher education, and specifically for NIT Jalandhar, being in the era of digitalization, can we see coming the online education or distance learning programs for education institutes like NIT Jalandhar or any other IITs in general?
To be very frank, pandemic has given so many new opportunities to every organization. It was left to the organization to transform these difficulties into opportunities, as told by our Honorable Prime Minister. So being Indians, we also took that challenge and came up with innovations. You'll be surprised that during the last 1.5 years, that is during the pandemic, when online teaching was made a compulsion in our system also,
Yes, sir.
our teachers were not inactive. During the pandemic only, our organization filed 70 patents, 70 patents.
Great
And
to hear that.
research output that increased by 4 times. According to me, people at home, they were more productive.
Productive.
And even the students' placement has been marginally disturbed. I can say not disturbed to a big extent.
So, but can we see that the placement in some of the streams like CSE and IT has marginally increased as well? whereas for the civil and mechanical like core streams it has decreased a bit.
No, you are correct to some extent. Actually, IT, it's IT world, and there is no dearth of the jobs for IT professionals. Even IT component is there in almost every branches at our institute.
Hmm.
You know very well that IT sector, they are not very much after a particular discipline. They want the competent manpower. They take the examination, and those who clear it, they take the interview and come up with the best manpower. So with that, according to me, almost 80% of our graduates, they get at least some employment in IT.
Okay.
Of course, those who are not satisfied, they also keep on trying with code. Many people, they get maybe 3-4 jobs. And always I say to my departmental students that maybe from my experience, it's important for everyone to get a job while being a student only. It is up to you whether you want to join
Or not.
or not. Even if you want to go for higher studies, in that case, you can be yourself proud of you that being a student, being a undergraduate student, I got a job.
No, but I rejected that.
Maybe I couldn't encash that because I transformed myself for higher studies.
Okay.
At our institute, we always take pain so that the students, those who are interested in going for higher studies, they should get it. Special classes are arranged for GIT, for CAT, even for GRE, GMAT, even foreign languages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I am hearing this for the first time, preferably because like the foreign languages exams aren't being focused much by any other institutes in India. So hearing that, it feels great that some of the institutes have actually started focusing because many of our students are going outside from NIT and IT sectors.
At our place, we have been running classes of German, French, both.
Oh, great to hear that, sir.
Yeah.
So coming to the next question, so last but not the least, what suggestions you would like to give to the aspiring youth of today, and how would you want to be them in future and leading the country?
According to me, education system makes every student as a competent technocrat. That's not sufficient according to me. One thing I can advise to my students and other students as well, that this is the right time. Don't be totally materialistic. Because in this materialistic world, I have seen so many people facing so many problems related to mental tension. And there is no self-satisfaction. So it's important that believe in you. Just see what is your strong point and also your weakness. Try to make the use of your strong points and try to make you as a leader wherever you are.
Okay.
If you are in industry, if you are in academia, you are in R&D, you are in entrepreneur, or wherever you are, try to demonstrate your abilities so that people accept you as a leader.
Okay, that's great. What we say, great advice to the younger students. Thank you so much, sir, for joining with us today. It was pleasure having you. So, thank you so much, sir.
It was really nice on my part also to see you, a student from NIT system. That's another plus point. As you told, you are from Warangal.
Yes, sir.
So that's great. And I wish all you as well as all those students from various technical institutions best of luck. And I am of the opinion that this is the right time for India to demonstrate its capabilities through the young generation of the technologies.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.